All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rekakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father. Yahweh Shah being the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Now, when you look at the situation in Jerusalem or Israel, when Yahweh Shah was walking the earth, is one key thing that you got to understand, and you got to look at the circumstances of what was going on. You had only 3 tribes that was in the land. Now, you had individuals that could have been scattered, and they could have found out that there was Israelites and moved back into the land. But the majority of the Israelites was only from 3 tribes, because the other tribes was taken into captivity into Assyria. So when you go into the New Testament and you see Jews, you got to understand that's all about 3 tribes. See, Jews don't represent 12 tribes. Jews don't represent all the Israelites. Jews represents 3 tribes. And for some reason, these churches, they don't give that understanding. See, they just say Jews, and they think about all of the Israelites. See, they just think about, God's people. See, and anything outside of the Jew is not God's people. See, that's the mentality that these Christians and these Jehovah's Witness, this is how they reason. Anything outside of a Jew is another nation. When you got 10 tribes, that's not a part of the Jews. So let's go into some key verses. Apostle Peter, he spoke on the situation, and Paul. You see, Paul and Peter was 2 major apostles that talked about these Jews. Let's see, let me go to Paul first. Now, when you go into Romans 3 and 9, he says, what then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have before proved both Jews and Gentiles that they are all under sin. Now, what is he talking about? The Israelites and the other nations? No, he's talking about the 3 tribes, and the 10 tribes are under the law. All of them are under the law, and all of them have broken the law. Let's get that real quick. Daniel, let's see, 9 and 12. Well, 9 and 11 say, yeah, all Israel have transgressed your law. See, when you use Israel in this context, you talking about all Israelites, because Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Israel can represent every Israelite. But see, Jew don't represent every Israelite. Let's get right to the point, because I don't want to lose nobody. Ezra chapter 1 verse 5, it says, then rose up the chief of the fathers of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and the Levites, with all them whose spirit God had raised to go up to build the house of the Lord which is in Jerusalem. So these are the three tribes that was in Jerusalem. See, when the Persians took over, you didn't have a bunch of people from the 12 tribes going back to Jerusalem to build it up. The people that built it up was from these three tribes when they was returning from Babylon. These three tribes was in captivity to the Babylonians because the Assyrians took the other 10 tribes out. Let's get that real quick just to put that on wax. 2 Kings, I think 17, here in verse, let's see, verse 6. It says, in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria. Now that Israel was not talking about the house of Judah. See, they carried Israel only. And that goes with the northern kingdom. That's why it says Samaria, because Samaria was the northern kingdom. Let's see if I can get that. 17:9. 17. Might be 7. Let me try Isaiah 7, 9. There it is. Look at verse 9. That's the spirit. It said, and the head of Ephraim. See, Ephraim was the top of the 12. I mean, the top tribe of the 10 tribes is Samaria. The head of Samaria is, well, anyhow, the Ephraim represents the 10 tribes. Let's prove that when you go into Ezekiel 37. Okay. Ezekiel 37. Look at verse 19. It says, say unto them, thus says the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, to make them one stick, and they should be one in mine hand. So Judah and Ephraim, they are separate. And Ephraim represents 10 tribes. Judah represents 3 tribes. You see? Look at verse 22. It says, and I will make them one nation in the land, in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more 2 nations. See, nations. Neither shall they be divided into 2 kingdoms anymore at all. So you see how they say nations, 2 nations. So Ephraim and Judah is 2 tribes, and they're described as nations. See? So when you go into Apostle Peter, now what was I still? No, I'm breaking down that Acts. When you go into Peter, chapter 10, around about the 28th verse, starting with what Peter said. Look at what Peter said. He said, and he said unto them, ye know how it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. See, he was talking about coming to another tribe of Israel. But God have showed me that I should not call any man unclean or any man common or unclean. So he's saying the other tribes, God done told me that these other tribes are not to be called unclean anymore. See, look at what he says in 34. He said, then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation. See, what nations? He talking about the 12 tribes. Not talking about these heathen. He that feareth him and worketh righteousness is acceptable with him. Now 36 gonna let you know he's not talking about no heathen. He say the word which God sent unto the children of Israel. This is what he's talking about. The children of Israel. Those are the 12 tribes. Those are the ones that the Jews wasn't dealing with. Them 10 tribes. That's why he said that a Jew, he didn't say an Israelite don't keep company with other nations. He said a Jew don't keep company with other nations, other tribes. And the Jew was Judah. Ephraim was the head of the 10 tribes, and they had got rid of Ephraim. They had got rid of the northern kingdom. The southern kingdom and the northern kingdom had separated. See, this is what these Christians don't understand. They thinking that everything is that the Jew mean everybody. Now Jew mean all the tribes. Now this is Romans what is it, 9? Romans 9 and 24. It says, even us whom he have called, not of the Jews only, but also of the Gentiles. See, not of just the 3 tribes, man. The 3 tribes is not the only children of Jacob that's going to get the blessing. All 12 tribes is going to get the blessing, man. That's why he went into Hosea. Hosea showed you how it was a separation of the tribe. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. Chapter 1. The first thing Hosea went to talking about is these tribes being separated. Real quick, look at verse 6. He said he says, for I will no more have mercy upon the house of Israel. He talking about Ephraim. He talking about the northern tribes. But I will utterly take them away. See, that's what he did when he sent them to the king of Assyria. Look at verse 7. But I will have mercy on the house of Judah. The house of Judah was the Jews. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Those individuals, he was going to have mercy. That's why he brought them from Babylon and put them back in the land and gave them the temple. Back in their own land and gave them the temple in their own land. And he made the Persian king give them gold and everything and told them to go back in the land and build that land up, or God gonna punish him if he don't give them gold and set them up in that land again. You see, this is why Paul brought up Hosea, because it was a separation with the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So when he said not the Jews only, he not talking about not the Israelites only, not the 12 tribes only. He said not the 3 tribes only. This is what he's saying. Not the 3 tribes only. Now when you go into Acts, the Jews were trying to kill Paul. See, they was mad about what he was saying. Look at what he told these Romans. He said, here it is. Hold on, let's see here. Might have been something. Oh, look at verse 2. Get the context. He said, I think myself happy, King Agrippa. So he talking to the Romans. It say, because I shall answer for myself this day before you, touching all things whereof I was accused of the Jews. The 3 tribes accusing him. And what did he say in verse 6? He said, now I stand and am judged for the hope of the promise made of God unto our father. Verse 7, unto which promise are 12 tribes. See, the 12 tribes got the promise, not just the 3 tribes. The 12 tribes got the promise. See, this is what he was dealing with. He was trying to tell them the 12 tribes got the promise, man. It ain't about just no freaking Jews. 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Jacob, who was given the promise, all of his children was going to get the promise. All of them 12 sons and their children was going to get the promise. It wasn't just given to Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. See, it was bigger than just Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, man. It was for the 12 tribes. That's why James, let's go to James. James 1 and 1. He said, James, the servant of God and of the Lord, Yahweh Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. See, his letter was going to the 12 tribes. He wasn't just talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. See, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi is not the Israelites, man. They not the only Israelites, Salakia. When you go into John, I think 18, 18 and 20, it says, Yahushua answered him, I spake openly to the world. Is he talking about all the peoples of the world? No. See, I ever taught in the synagogue and in the temple, whether the Jews always reside, and in secret have I said nothing. So he was teaching Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. This is what he was teaching, man. He wasn't teaching in Jerusalem any other tribe, because they wasn't in Jerusalem. They had been taken by the Assyrians way into a whole nother land. And so this is what Christianity, this is the foundation of Christianity confusion, where they try to bring in all of the humans in the world. Let's get Isaiah. Isaiah clearly show you the separation. Now let's see Isaiah. Is it Isaiah? Salakia. Trying to let it come to me. 20. 40, Salakia. Isaiah 40:17. It say, all nations before him are nothing. They are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. See, these other nations, they are not nothing to God. See, they not on that level. His focus was on the children of Israel. He wanted to set them up. He chose them to set them up, just like he chose a lion to be the king of the jungle. He made him to be strong and powerful. See, he created him to be the king of the jungle. This is what he did to the Israelites. That's why in Genesis 25 and 23, he said, one people shall be stronger than the other. He created them to be stronger and bigger and smarter, see, and better than the other people. He didn't create these other nations to be on the level of Israelites. This is what these people ain't understanding. All the animals ain't the same. The animals are very different. Let's get that. All the animals are very different. And this is how God operates. He don't create everything the same. When did he ever do that? What creation did he create the same? I don't see how they. Let me go into the Ecclesiasticus real quick. I think it's in like the 30s somewhere. I always lose this verse. Oh man, because he talks about how he created things different. He didn't create everything the same. And this is what the Christians don't understand. Okay, trying to think of a word that I can plug in. Oh, diverse. He created things diverse, man. There it is. 33. He said in verse 11, in much knowledge, the Lord hath divided them and made their ways diverse. See, all men was from Adam, yeah, but he made the people diverse. He didn't make all the people the same. Oh, we all got red blood in our bodies. So he still created us different. Verse 12. Some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified, see, and set near himself. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. So see, some of these people, he ain't even blessing them, man. He cursed them. Some people, he gonna bless them. That's not he creating everybody the same. That equal mess is a lie. God don't deal with everybody the same just because he created everybody. He made these people diverse and different. Okay, let me get one more. Um, 2nd Esdras 6. Look, verse 54. He said, after these, Adam also, whom thou made Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom you have chosen. See, he chose some people out of Adam. 55, and all have I spoken before you, O Lord, because you made the world for our sakes. See, he made the world for the Israelites, man. This is what they don't understand. He made the world for the Israelites to be ruling. That's why they gonna have an everlasting covenant and an everlasting salvation and an everlasting rulership, because he planned on this situation from the beginning. 56, it says, for other people. See, the other people, that's nothing, as Isaiah said. They're nothing to the Lord, which also come of Adam, thou have said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and have likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. 57. And now, O Lord, behold these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. See, these other nations is devouring us and being lords over us. He gave them a rulership, the time of the Gentiles. See, the Gentiles, he gave a time for them to rule. So they weren't just nothing their whole life, nothing their whole existence. He gave them a rulership. It was a small, short rulership, but he gave it to them. See, he gave all these other nations rulership. That's why they're in their lands right now. The only people that's not in their lands is the Israelites, because they got people ruling over them. And so this is what these Christians don't understand. They thinking that these other nations can be in the place of the 10 tribes. Because he was talking, them the Gentiles that they was talking about. Now, let's see here. When it talked about the Jew or the Greek, let's get that real quick. The reason they was calling them Greeks, because this right here, it says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or feast days, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. So when the Greeks took over, the Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, because the Persians left out of power. So the Lord told the Persians to send them back to that land and help them build it up, give them the gold or whatever they need to build it up. So they went back to the land, built the land up, and then here come the so-called white man. He come and he said, we finna take over this land under the Greeks, Alexander the Great. See, the great white man, he comes on the scene. And he's really an Edomite. See, the Edomites came on the scene and took over the land and said, you cannot call yourself an Israelite, man. What is your head thinking? Verse 3, it said, then Judas fought against the children of Esau. See, them Greeks. The Greeks were the children of Esau, the so-called white man. And he came to Jerusalem, and just like he went to the west coast of Africa and got Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. See, and he brought them over here on slave ships because he knew where they was at, and they was coming back into power. The children of Esau came back into power, and they went to find them wherever these Israelites was at, and they put them on slave ships and took them to Haiti. He brought them here to America and took them down there to Jamaica and the West Indies. See, this is what these dragons was doing, and they was making sugar cane on the sugar cane plantation, making rum and sugar, and the so-called white man was getting rich off of these Israelites. Just that in, where we at? Zephaniah, Zechariah, Salaki, 5 and 11. No, 11 and 5 is it? 7 and 11. Yeah, 11 and 5, Salaki. It say, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So he took the Israelites, they went and found the Israelites, took them down into them islands, and started working them, brought them here to the Americas and put them in the cotton field. See, making cotton was king in Mississippi. Mississippi was the top state of these colonizers, of these Edomites, the children of Esau. See, this is how the whole situation went down. And so now you got in these last days, the 3 tribes is joining with Ephraim, the other tribes, which are the Hispanics, and they starting to unite and realize that they are the Israelites. See, because that's that prophecy in Ezekiel 37. And so once they come alive, like them dead dry bones, then the Lord is gonna come. See, and this is what these dragons know. They got great wrath coming up because they know their time is up. But those 3 tribes is not on the tribe. All the 12 tribes got to unite. Let's get that whole seal. What is it? Verse 11, the last verse in the first chapter. Say, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together. The blacks and the Hispanics going to be gathered together. And then they're going to go back into that land. See, this is what Paul and Peter was talking about. The Jews and the other 10 tribes was going to join together. It wasn't just about the freaking Jews, man. All the tribes going to join together, and they're going to go back into that land. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native American descendants of slaves scattered around the globe on slave ships and through many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.